You know, a little humanity can go a long way. But right now, we have to focus our lens on, like you mentioned, this banger of a match. Naos and Alter Ego, both heavy hitters in their own right, duke it out on a classic like Ascent. I do like this Waylay pick. I like it a lot. You know,
I was about
like,
to ask you what you think about it.
I like it. It's fast. It can be incredibly oppressive. The entirety of Waylay's kit is very impressive, but you know, we haven't really seen too much of her in the pro scene just yet, or not as much as we expected. We expected Waylay to dominate off rip, but it's actually Teho coming into light more than anything.
I mean, Teo is oppressive. The clear potential is really, really good. You get so much info and recon as well. You can flush people off corners. So it does make sense why he's such a great pick at the time being. But for Naos, they made noise onto A, but it's not the way they want to hit here. They want to go onto B, but Nakia is ready that one way, keeping the rest of Naos offline for the time being. They can't push out here. As soon as that cage goes down, there's a smoke. As soon as that smoke goes down, there's also a trip. You can't really do much here.
The thing is, with that bulletproof wall now, you allow attacking teams to set up properly on potentially a more complex B hit or more complex utility setups instead of like, okay, we have to time it with our smokes and whatnot. But wow, quick exchange.
Hella quick, honestly. Both players just really quick on it, but still a ghost lost for the time being. As Naos, they have really cut the noise, denied a bit more information, keeping them guessing. But you really gotta give it. That Fade pick means that it allows for so many reclears. It's hard to really do anything about it because the Haunt's cooldown is incredibly low.
I do like the Haunt though. I mean, you know, if you want to brawl, throw the Prowler in there, why don't you? But Zan would be in a bit of a tough spot here. Or he is the tough spot. Wow. Waylay.
Really just gone away there. Immediately Adrian in the backside there, but Motion will be the one to right click first here. And gotten left all alone. Naos, they played this very patiently. Immediately getting control of side beat. So much noise there onto A as well, which really left Alter Ego questioning where exactly are they supposed to be looking. And the same could be said about Zan, who found Gotten looking at pizza.
Oh man, I'm so hungry. Maybe I should order pizza. But like you said, did you see how much value Zan got from Tree just hitting that double dash and then hitting the I believe it's called the refract?
The refract, yeah.
Yeah, the
refract. It reminds me of a Reina dismiss, right? I mean, you get a pick, you go in, you get a kill, then you get dismiss out. But for Waylay, you're able to do that without getting those kills. You can go for that first contact hit, something hitting you, well, just refract away. It's your get out of jail card.
Can't refrag when the refract is there. Naos starting strong, but Alter Ego really can't count them out here. Naki and the rest of the crew so volatile, and I like that they're peeling away at this utility, pulling a little bit more attention from Valdin. And actually at one point in time, Valdin was actually an Alter Ego player, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, he was. So this is definitely a rivalry play, maybe, just to really prove his team that he's better off without them. Who knows? The Arc Rose and Tide as well, so Naos playing a little bit more back. Going to the info is close by.
There's still definitely a lot of utility being burned here, and with the rest of Naos actually quite far away from this potential point of contact towards B. This could lull Alter Ego in a false sense of security, but Sayu backs out. Beautiful stuff. Oh!
Ooh, you really gotta give it to Nakia. He's a sharpshooter. Quick peek out, and immediately the head of Valdin gone. Couldn't buy a bit of time here with the salvos. But they still have 30 seconds, not too far away from that site. But behind those smokes, there's a lot to worry about right now. The saturate has been used, keeps the rest at bay here. Zan is marked, but he doesn't care. He's just gonna rush up forward here. Knows was one member of Alter Ego in the backside. Mosier trades, right click to bound here. As both teams taking heavy losses. 10 seconds to go here. Gotten last man standing there. Javi, marking stairs. Mosier could look the right way. He does. 3 huge pickoffs here from Naos, but they did lose quite a number of guns.
Despite Naos winning that round, I do want to give a little bit of credit to Gon. And despite not making any noise just yet in these first 2 rounds, because again, it is so predictable on how these 2 rounds can go, especially with the win of the pistol and whatnot. But Gon is a beast. I think it's imperative for Naos to not allow him to get things going, because there have been so many times where it is the gun and the should show, and when your backline is just impenetrable like that, it could potentially open up problems for Zan, you know, despite that free out, everything, the mobility. If the rest of the team can't fight through the site,
All set.
then Naos might have a little bit of trouble. But look at this, they're very, very careful on this eco. They know that Alter Ego does tend to get a little bit more active once the guns are up. Alter Ego as well, not giving themselves a little too aggressive. Come on, Nakia, that's not fair.
Yeah, right as the paranoia hits too, special package comes through and
he
Sayu
did.
comes up as well. But it's a
Spike
crossfire
down,
that's not
A.
hitting, as Gohan will run away with murder.
One enemy remaining.
Your positions abound here, and Nakia is the one to rush huge this round. This rifle round is flawless, which means every single rifle gets moved forward here. And now we have a full gun round.
Fully expected from Alter Ego to recover. Nakia, with that effort, does get himself a dimensional drift here. So maybe they could use that as a scouting ult. Or if they want to use it in tandem with something a little bit more volatile. Again, Alter... a little bit of love there for, I guess, the team. Alter Ego is not a team that you cannot, like, count out at all. This is a team that honestly can make a championship run at any given time.
I mean, there was a reason why Boom Esports and Alter Ego were the rivals back then. They were the two best teams in Indonesia. They were so toe-to-toe with each other as well. I think they're looking really excited to join Boom Esports over there, over Ascension and Tier 1 as well.
Southeast Asia is really doing some damage in any of these lanes, but Zan, again, tasked to be the spearhead. Oh, free out, like you said.
And look at that. Immediately free out, immediately BTC will just swing out, get a pick up as well. A pop flash far from Hobby 8K means that they're able to go a little bit more aggressive, pushes the rest of Alter Ego members onto the site. Quick trades all around here. And the same could be said about Adrian King and PTC. Alter Ego on the back foot this time, a 1v2. But we've seen Gotten do miracles.
Spike planted.
Oh, man.
They get the
Again,
plant.
this is another
Nice.
pair that Gotten has to take care of, Tosh.
He'll try to swing out, but PTC is waiting, and there was a reason why PTC got picked up for this team. He was one of the best in his own region here, and Naos looks to try and cement that.
Gotten has been in a situation where he's been tasked to clutch, but and he's not really left with a lot to work with. Sure that his aim is always so present, but with the amount of utility and chaos that's already caused so much chaos, Naos play that 2v1 beautifully. I was about to say that, you know, it's been a different 2v1 configuration every single time Gon has attempted to clutch, but Gon still is 0-3 in that department. Alter Ego, they still have a healthy bag to play with, and this time getting a little bit more proactive.
Come out here, Nakia's angle is just so huge, allowing so much reposition as well. But the same could be said about Naos, who's always okay to give away that site, wait out the util, then wait it for the follow. But now Zan this time, that's an aggressive, straightforward.
My ultimate is ready.
Looking so much better this week compared to the last year for Naos, at least for Zan. In this first initial rounds here for Ascent.
Now, if you think about it, Tash, if that wall was not bulletproof, 100% Naos would have died. You already know that Odin was going to be raining hell, especially with the way that they're comboing.
Oh my god, Zan decides to challenge it! He gets away with it! Quick trade up with Sayu at the very least. Alter Ego still lost 2.
This is definitely looking tough still for our Indonesian squad. Adrian King and Sayu, a little thin in the utility department, but Adrian King does have that Han to maybe slow things down. They managed to make their way to the site. Will Sayu get discovered?
Oh, they do, but they do check him. Quick trades again. Both teams' due diligence are good. With Javi watching the back foot, making sure that no one crosses into sight from CT. They get the plant. Once again, Alter Ego in a 1vx. This time it's 3. Should alone. Bought away time there with the Razor Vines finally dwindled. A nice high-low as well.
Oh,
Naos
man.
this time. I have to say, I don't know what it is that they had done in this 1 week of break they had, but they look so much more structurally sound today.
And that's the magic of having a very diligent support staff. If I'm not mistaken, I do believe it's the Oliphant and Emic. I could actually open up my VLR right now, but Would I rely on technology? I would. But either way, everybody has making a lot of strides. I mean, we talked about it, right? Like,
Yeah.
a week can feel like forever for some of these teams, especially when they divvy up those 7 days properly. And I think this is where we PSA find at least a day or two to rest, guys, because it's really just not fun working in any like capacity of, like forever. Always take a break. And maybe that's what Naos did too. Maybe they found a little bit of space to unwind and uncoil.
Yeah. Now, I think what's really interesting as well, I mean, coming into the fact that we have Asterisk, who used to be a pro player coming into coach side, which means that he has a little bit more extra value to add into this team as well. But what's making me more interesting as well, that Naos chose this map, and you could really tell and see they've been really drilling what they wanted for this map as well. I mean, the fact of the matter is, we did talk about that Waylay pick, right? You like it. For me, I'm still a bit of a 50-50 when it comes to Waylay, especially from what we've seen on Tier 1. We haven't really seen the most, I would say, successful Waylays except for Primi so far. So, coming into this, seeing that Naos knows how exactly to play it, is just making me so excited. And Naos has 4 ultimates already to play with right now.
One for each round, I suppose, and
no way.
That's the value. I mean, Waylay is just so mobile and so volatile. I understand why you wouldn't like to see it so often, because when it doesn't work, it looks awful. But when it does, everything just falls into place.
Already marked one of the members of Alter Ego into B main as well. But now it's a crunch here. Not a lot of place to work with for Adrian King. He's stuck there. There's nothing he could do about it here. Gotten with only a sheriff in hand. Yeah, the man can shoot. Hoping to see 1v5. Obviously, you want to see that happening, but they've already marked him so very early. And now this is a flawless for them, losing no one, even against sheriffs.
Missiles away.
So careful as Naos to preserve their economy. I mean, this is true min-maxing. Sometimes that extra 300 is the difference with full armor and a little bit of utility, and no utility in some armor. And again, despite just all of that, you still see Alter Ego be active. They're trying to make sense of this attack, but so far, this Waylay has been unpredictable. There were rounds where Zan was presenting himself towards tree, but now we see that double up play towards mid. There's just so much you can do, unless Adrian King is there to pop you in the face.
I mean, to be fair, it's the same thing that Zan did the previous round, just saturate and light speed up forward. And this time around, he's positioned himself a little bit back, knowing that Zan is gonna be on that wall. This time around, Naos, they don't have an entry anymore. Their duelist is down.
I must wait a moment.
Shut. Playing on CT side here. Looking to stay away from the 0 point. No, not quick enough. So they know exactly where he is. Smoked off with Razor Vines there. It's not gonna be hard for them to move back. With the Steel Garter online alongside, you have the Armageddon as well. It's gonna be one of the cleanest entries onto that site. Alter Ego there. They're forced to wait.
Oh, beautiful.
And they're gonna mix it up with the null command as well? Okay, that's a lot of investment for just one round.
Uh-oh. They could get absolutely demolished with the Armageddon here, but they are buying so much time. Oh, Mojer, this could be huge. This is beautiful.
It was massive! In fact, the TP is phenomenal! Finally goes down, but the damage has been done. Nakia in a dimensional drift with the shorty. Good for one. Up in hand here in a 1v1. PTC has to play this right. Knows exactly where he's coming from. All he has to do is just peek here. Shots forward, waiting for the right possible time. Tries a jump peek as well, but the white swing will eventually spell demise as PTC will be the one to run away with this round.
Great play and great calling there by everybody really on Naos. Again, the presence, just to use that null command to deny that immediate Armageddon. Already a great start. And this is off the bat, rather off the back of them losing their duelist. So they had to be as active as possible with the limited resources. And with just enough time, they even allowed Mojer to get that disgusting flank, getting Sayu of all the players too. So maybe, again, Alter Ego, they might be just goaded into being too active here and overextending as Mojer's looking to punish.
Puts in a lot of damage to Nakia already. He's only 21 HP left here. Valden quick to open, should as well, but Javi AK, he makes quick work of the rest. Good reads and understanding on what the habits are going to be for Alter Ego. Naos, this is your map right now. Yes, they had used a lot of ultimates in the previous round, but this time around, being patient once again. I was so sure Zan was gonna go a little bit more active, maybe put in the conversion paths, but they didn't need to.
This goes here.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, with that still being available for Naos, this could honestly influence how Alter Ego would want to position themselves here. Because if they get a little too aggressive on really either tree or A main, then the convergent paths, it's going to absolutely demolish them. We will see a little bit of Odin action here. It might be for the wall bang here towards anybody holding onto tiles. But no dice on the side of Alter Ego. This time now is so confident and trying to take this A side.
Have a saturate and immediately gonna light speed onto the side. God does not allow the reflect to happen, and Naos just gonna walk straight into Cotton's crosshair. The meat grinder, a one-man meat grinder at that. And the rest of Naos now in a tizzy. No clue where to look, no clue where to go. Might be able to find Sayu alone here, off guard, good for one, but Sayu gets a pickup with the salvos and an Odin? Sayu, come on now!
Great recovery here by Alter Ego, but that's still 5 rounds that they had to scale. Now still holding on to that Waylay ult that they could very much use. Great heads-up play here too by Alter Ego to capitalize on the fact that there was going to be a bit of a delay onto that duelist hit. Maybe Naos want to clean that up just a little bit. Go in while that Waylay is still in the air, because everybody was just putting their crosshair right on you know, those effects when she does her double dash. Still,
yeah,
Naos so strong on this economy. They're actually building up another set of ultimates here, so potential dry pushes would come in the next 2 or 3 rounds if they don't get the volume that they would want, which is, you know, more than enough of a buffer, because regardless of what's gonna happen, they are gonna be leading going into the next half.
Oh, this corner immediately known that Nakia would be close. Just splashes him out. But this time around, Zan is going to be activating his convergent paths. Gonna light speed straight onto the side as well and somehow shoot Sayu in the face. There's so much space and he's able to take that onto Heaven's side as well. But gotten in the back here. He knows how to play this corners to perfection. Gets 2. Makes it a little bit more easier for his team to play this retake in terms of numbers. But the triple swing forward means that Naos will be having their own version of a shooting galley straight toward Heaven's side.
Alter Ego look a little stunned on Ascent, but once again, Naos have just been so prepared for this, so refined on their approach. And everything is just falling into place. I think Naos is really trying to, you know, stake their claim that maybe they really are the team that's pushing for that Pacific spot. Because right now they are playing exactly how they need to be to dominate the rest of the competition. Because again, Alter Ego, this is not a team that you'd expect to go 8-2 against anybody.
Naos this time, instead of sending Zan, they send out a drone first, so they have an idea where exactly Alter Ego is, but they have so many layers in this shooting galley! Knows exactly how aggressive Alter Ego would be here down mid.
One more round in this half, and Alter Ego, they will try and get as much as possible. Just even that 1 round. The consolation prize is that their economy is still intact, but they really have not been able to retaliate against Naos in large. Whether it be a little bit more activity towards mid, them clogging up the extremities of the map, dumping utility in a certain POI, now seems to be on top of things. Now they have that null command again if they want to brawl it out. And it does look like they're baiting out that salvo on the side of Sayu. And that read was perfect for them. Drone going out by PTC. Look at all this utility that they could just dump onto the site there.
Yeah, they also have Armageddon to play with. Okay, here we go. Cotton's already suppressed, which means that there's no paranoia come through. So Steel Garden comes out. Armageddon as well here. Oh, I'm kind of surprised that you decided to challenge that. So that's their Sentinel down and out already. You also have the Razor Vines on Heaven's side as well. Gets the plant all the way down to the bottom side here. Post plants around. Nakia, this is going to be a terribly hard retake to do with an op.
Oof.
But Zan will pop his head up first here. So they do punish him for it. Nightfall to come down as well. We'll push forward as well here. They get marked. Valdit holding. Trying to see and hoping that someone will just try and challenge him onto Southern side here. Onto that onto Hell side. Still on the back foot here. They go for the defuse here. They have no idea where to look right now. They try to make it a bit more competitive. Sayu gets 1, 2 even. And it's Sayu's play right now. PTC is only good for 1 with those salvos, but the rest of the team will eventually fall. 9-3. Do you believe in curses, Raf?
No. No, I do not. I am not superstitious. Which is exactly why I don't believe in superstition. I'm kidding. Great stuff here, at least to get that 1 round off. So far, it's been this A side that's been a little bit messy. Desk as we get this thing going.
Zan taking a very aggressive stance down mid here. They have 3 holding down the line, but little they know, some of the members of Alter Ego are positioned there onto B main.
Oh. Alter Ego definitely taking a bit of a different philosophy going onto this attacking side, but it's actually Zan manning the catwalk here. Could find a little bit of action, especially if Sayu chooses to push up, but Savvy has now been the first to draw blood.
No. Quick trade here from Zan as well.
Wow,
Tag team. But Adrian King as well gonna find them from top side here. Valdin as well.
Wow.
So privy to where Alter Ego would be coming from. Once again, gotten left in a 1vx. Gonna be smoked off here, but gets him right as the smoke falls. Oh, that is timing. That is timing. Mosier, what a play.
I like the heads up play on that smoke, but once again, these early rounds, these early situations, it's just not registering onto the side of Alter Ego. Now, if you're paying attention to Zan's camp there, they actually read that mid-aggression too. Despite him not like committing on it, they still had a player to really cover the bases here. See, Valdin actually gets that frag there, and it allows Mojer to get that extra one too without losing that catwalk there. Now, their Ascent play has been absolutely divine. I think players should be watching this map specifically if they want to see how the map works and whatnot, or, you know, take this comp and borrow a few things. But Alter Ego, they have to do something now. Otherwise, this could be a very convincing, what, 13-3, 13-5 for Naos.
Valdin, oh man, God knew exactly what it's gonna be, but Valdin gonna try and trade, but these are classics that Alter Ego are playing with. In fact, getting those 2 pickups allows them to get an upgrade, which is going to be a Guardian in their hands. They get the plant here. Sayu renders so low, but still, it's going to be an advantage in Alter Ego's hands. They break the drone, so Mosier trying to set his team up for success here. Good paranoia alongside PTC's, missiles should break the door as well here, but there is one playing very close, and double swing is massive! Leaving Shun alone. Special package would just swing out 1 player around, and they tried to play a little bit more aggressive and close. Shun tries to swing out wide, but PTC sharp as ever.
Wow. Despite all of that, despite the hot start and Alter Ego and their classics, Naos manage to get things going their way, albeit incredibly expensive. This could actually prompt them to go for a full upgrade and maybe challenge the gun round. Having that 1 Guardian is really not enough of a deterrent to not upgrade, but if they go for the conservative buy and maybe play into the operator, it's also incredibly valid. And it does look like we are gonna go with the latter. Alter Ego, it does look like they're still going to be uninterested in mid for the most part. They will be sending 2 players out just to check, but I don't... Oh!
Alter Ego, this is interesting. They just had to go aggressive here. They set it up for success. Now their execution forced into a tizzy because of that util, so it forces them out in the open. So Alter Ego took full advantage of the situation.
Alter Ego doing a good job of keeping this as intact as possible and avoiding unnecessary purchases going into the next few rounds. But now, again, they know, despite having like less players, they are still going to be as careful as possible. I'm not sure if they were gonna pick up those weapons anyway. This Guardian is still in the hands of Valdin. Zan actually gets gotten here, but I'm pretty sure this round is done and dusted.
You don't have a lot of guns. I mean, you have a Ghost and you have a Guardian to work with as well. Util-wise, I think Valdin does have the aggro, so is one thing to work with, but Nakia, he's gonna go massive here. Might potentially be another ace in this tournament for him. Tries to break the door, finds nothing quite yet, so Valdin marked.
Spike planted.
With 4 players to worry about. A flash as well keeps him at bay. The rest of Alter Ego don't want to go too aggressively. A quick peek forward here for Valdin. They're just trying to bait him out for Nakia to be able to get his ace.
Oh, well.
Not gonna happen. Should stole it away. Should. Come on now. Give me. I want to yell ace. Come on now.
It's not gonna happen, but Alter Ego definitely answering the call here. Keeping it clean. Naos, what do they have up their sleeves here? They can afford an operator, but they choose to go for a more rifle-centric buy still, which again is really no issue. I like that they double-check if there was gonna be any activity towards tree. Because if I'm not mistaken, Naos actually sent 2 players down catwalk unchallenged in that piss round, and I think Alter Ego was worried that they might do that again. This time though, heavy-handed attempt towards B.
Both teams swapping out salvos. Both teams kept at bay for the time being. But it's gotten that's somehow
Who's next?
a little bit more weak now because of that. But you have our mid-side area. Nakia starts to go a little bit more aggressive here. We have
Oh my gosh.
BTC going aggressive as ever, but good trades coming all around here from Alter Ego. A 2 for 1. In the smokes here is Zen. Can't do much, can't see anything. Throws in the refract onto saturate onto forward. Quickly reacts off it as well here. One-man army to go a little bit more aggressive. I think Sayu is marking him. Skips away. The flash is set up for success for him. Spots one more in the backside. The last member left alive is Nakia. A flash forward gives Zen a 4K right as the flash hits here. Great timing from this duelist to show everyone what he's made of.
You see how unfortunate that timing was too for the Yoru player. He was marking market door for so long, and then Zan pops out. Yeah, Nakia here. Well, not here, but earlier, right? He was marking door for so long, for I think like what 5-10 seconds, and then the moment Zan swings out, he TPs out, and everything just kind of fell into place for Zan here. I'm actually really curious why they decided to auto mark stairs there when I think they had the info that Zan was still playing off, or not Zan, Nakia was still playing off that very recently. But again, these are heads-up plays that are so hard to make, especially in the heat of battle. Like, we are so lucky, and the spectators are so lucky that we have all the information available to us all the time.
Honestly, you know, we talked about the slump that Naos was going through with team identity, trying to figure out how to fit the pieces now that most of the players have left the team. It's a different Naos, especially this season, right? For me, personally, you know, it felt like it might take a little bit more longer for Naos to figure things out, especially how devastating their games were last week. But in just 1 week, they've managed to figure out everything that was wrong. They're playing as a team. Their executions look phenomenal. Granted, there's a lot of like chain ultimates they use, but it works.
This is the type of play you expect from a Premier team. And once again, Naos really make a case that they do belong at the very tippy top. That's not to say anything about their tier 2 scene. Our tier 2 scene has been incredibly competitive. And I would say a lot better than what it used to be. Everybody's just been evolving and just been getting better as time passes. But now they've really taken this a step further. Alter Ego going for a really slow approach now. That A side is looking really bare. But look at Naos, they avoid almost all of that utility.
Cutting through.
Being patient, waiting way back there. They also gonna set out the gate crash all the way onto tree. But the presence have been detected here. Zan just waiting to throw out the convergent pads, and he just does that. The rest of the team moving out there in the open. Red like a cook here, shoot for 2, but Valden seals the deal. And now look convincing on this Ascent, taking the lead 1-0. Round area, which you want to try and fight for. So I'm guessing that they want to make it a little bit more competitive. They want to take aggression for one of these areas. That's just how I feel though, Raf.
I was gonna like say a song, like, and that's just how, you know, wait, let me Google this.
Oh no, he's Googling.
No. Have you heard of that Nico and Vin song, Am I Wrong? And then I realized that was over like 10 years ago. It's like 11 years ago. I realized,
Wait, has
man.
it really been that long?
Yeah, dude, exactly. Like, I hate the passage of time, and that's exactly why it's like, am I gonna make this reference?
Just came out like yesterday, right?
No, is the audience too young for this? But they're definitely not too young for some incredible and potentially intense Valorant action here on Lotus. But yeah, I completely agree with you. Lotus has evolved in many ways, in more ways than one actually. Low cooldowns and whatnot, like you said, also will probably be incredibly prevalent here, especially with a lot of these corners that need a real body to check. For example, this little corner on top of the box.
I think they're questioning. Set up the arc rose and I think it got immediately destroyed as well. So that's enough of a telltale as well. Zan finds nothing here, so we'll just get the orb and just immediately go away. Now, when I look at Zan on this map, it's giving me deja vu of the days on MYSG where Zan used to play for like Lays and stuff like that. And he's been phenomenal on this Neon on this map. So I do wonder what Naos has cooked up with him.
What has been in the kitchen shall find its way to our plates. Naos has delivered on that entree, but what is the main course? Is it gonna be a 2-0? Or is it gonna be drawn out? But and now, like you said, a lot of experience coming in from Zan, and I'm really not surprised that you know a lot about Zan.
Watched him when he was a wee little lad, and this time around he's a little bit bigger. And somehow, through the paranoia, he finds Gotten, he finds Sayu before finally Should does shot him down. Adrian King and Should go huge here, putting it in a 1v2. 12 seconds to go. Has to deliver the spike onto the plant area as well, with 2 players rushing toward him. They're gonna try and rush him here. They're gonna push forward here. The peaks are coming through as well. They're gonna try and make it competitive. Tries to isolate 20 HP, and Nakia just rushes forward, takes away a gun and also the pistol.
Oh, Alter Ego answering back. A lot stronger and a little bit more aggressive now. I feel like just that aggressive like stance that Naos took for Ascent may not work here because, again, it's Lotus. It's 3 sides. You know, no matter how much you try to spread yourself out, there's always gonna be a considerably weaker side here. Zan, despite getting that impressive entry, gets absolutely bodied, and that's the thing, right? We talked about Should. He wasn't shining in that map per se, but then again, Alter Ego was nowhere to be found on Ascent. But I think this is where he... Yeah, come on. Like, come on, guys. But again, Alter Ego, I've sung so many praises of this team in the past. This is, I would assume, where they will retaliate. They just can't go down 2-0.
They really can't. I mean, one thing's for sure, when they did go down, they did bring it to a 3rd map as well. So they're gonna make it at least a little bit more competitive here. Nakia, very aggressive stance out here in the open there. Forced to move back. Spots Valdin's elbow. And immediately taken out by Nakia. Still 1 more bullet.
Oh, man.
Smoked off.
Wait.
But Agent King waiting in the wings as well. Right click in the face for Zan. Steals away 1 more. Gonna try and push a little bit further up here where Sayu should be able to meet him.
Man.
Now the rest of all... Now it's just kind of moving around through the motions.
I really like the Outlaw. Not because it's like... It's inherently like, you know, it's really strong. It is really strong, but it is the perfect weapon for round 2 and 3. Because you know you have a really high chance of just using it like an operator. But Naos, at the very least, they get this plant down. No, not even. PTC gets
30 seconds left.
disjointed from this.
Spike
And
planted.
again, this round's pretty much done and dusted, honestly.
Just sprays inside here, moving around the area as well. Shots in the face. Wow, they were just toying with them here. I would cry.
I would have like started bawling my eyes out if for some reason PTC managed to get all of that. It would have been truly a tragedy, you know. But Alter Ego, they clean up. Again, this is a team that has championship aspirations and potentially looking to continue that rivalry between them and Boom and Pacific. First and foremost, let's not get too excited. It is a chance at Ascension, which is a chance at Pacific. So this league is incredibly brutal, guys. It is so unforgiving.
It's a long league as well, and every single match counts, especially if you're collecting those points through all 3 splits.
And wow. I can't believe we went back to the 3 splits, but hey, that's more Valorant, so that's more fun for everybody, I guess.
Yeah.
I can't believe this game is 5 years old. That's so crazy to me.
Wow. That's the age of a
Of
kindergartner?
a 5-year-old.
Okay, Raph! Anyways, you're not going aggressive. Wow! Somehow, Zan survives the initial skirmish here as Javi 8K was a little bit more aggressive, catching Sayu in the mid of that rotation. But Nakia's not done! So is Javi 8K. There's a reason why he's a veteran. Adrian King with only that Spectre wreaks havoc into the rest of Naos. But that's okay, because the rest of Naos are able to equalize at the very least, bringing over 2 rifles.
Oh boy, Naos, despite everything, surviving a decently expensive round is already on the way to building this ultimate economy. Now my question is, how is Alter Ego gonna retain their momentum here? Are they gonna flash out with this, or are they gonna try and do something aggressive with this Rolling Thunder and maybe wrestle early Rebel control away? Because normally that's what teams do, right? Like, you see the pings from Naos, right? They're like, okay, maybe let's not do this. Maybe this is the more obvious play. But look, we see Adrian King posture himself up for B. If there's a sound spot, they could throw everything towards the center of the map.
The drone should already get some from info, only to find Zan. I don't think he spotted anything else quite yet here. So Alter Ego wants to get a little bit more aggressive. The relay bolt comes out, the paranoia as well, looking to punish Nakia for going aggressive, but it does put a wrench in their plans, so both teams are just gonna skedaddle out the way and just call it a truce for the time being here. But the rest of Naos here getting a little bit more active, taking over the full entirety of Rebel side, looking to push a little bit more onto A side as well. The smokes should give them a bit of space. The Prowlers should get up close as well. But should, over the backside here, should find nothing. Good trades all around. Nakia, Valdin, 1 each. As Nakia looking to take a little bit more space away from the rest of Naos.
I think this is just the beauty of having a Neon, you know? It's not like a Jet Dash where it's an instant in and out. You can pressure continuously. Like you said, Steel Garden out.
Trying to come forward here a bit more, moves out the way here. Oh, Valdin, what is happening? Went the whole 180, they're 365, nothing.
30 seconds left.
Gon should fight him in the end here. PTC, good timing on that lurk. Find one in the midst of that rotation. Got Mosier alongside Javi 8K. Sharp as ever. Gonna take another round in the bag, because honestly, what was that round? It was such an insane rotation over onto B.
I think, like, one thing we've noticed is that both teams are just so willing to use the entirety of their kit to relocate, and it's great because there's just so much motion going on the map. And I think we've been making like this argument for Neon, like, over Jet. Jet does have that opping capability, but her pressure to like throughout the round is just not as sustainable. Whereas, like, if you're a Neon running around, it'll regenerate, it'll be fine. Plus slide is really powerful still.
No.
Oh no. Oh no.
Not the Bucky! Bro is just gonna TP away here, play in another corner.
I have the spike.
Alright, well, this is the same thing that they did earlier, Tosh, where they just kind of bounce out after a small skirmish, and you can tell that these teams have a lot of respect for each other, because sometimes teams will try to commit on that fight. But now Nakia, 6 HP, what can he do?
Fine play his corner to perfection. Get two somehow with just
No way, no way.
Overdrive online. Mosier shuts him down, but the damage is done. But once again, caught in a 1v2. Knows exactly where to look here. Making a lot of noise here. Zan. Nice off-angle played as well.
End of story.
So sets him up for success. Naos.
There.
Another round
hit
taken
back.
away here.
More
Alter Ego in the back foot.
Ooh, Alter Ego. That was honestly a miracle by Nakia. I can't believe he survived for so long and even had the audacity to pop that overdrive. But hey, when you're the duelist, you're kind of obliged to full send it all the time. I mean, we're not really asking our duelist players to be conservative, you know. If anything, we're leaning more towards them leading the charge and being the ringleader to everything. And that's exactly what Nakia tried to attempt. No, 3 off that eco. Very, very decent.
Yeah.
The only payoff is he lost his ultimate.
Gonna try and get that fault line out and immediately just swing off it if they want to. But Javi AK has something in hand as well, Nightfall. So Nightfall falls, they open the door, the fault line comes out, and they just immediately spray. But Naos is already anticipating this push.
Player standing.
Good to find all the rest of the players as well. I love all the layers of defense from all the way to door, all the way to the back of Rebel. Should always on the back side here. Not too sure if he gate crashed away because he saw Should there. But info is still info. A quick TP forward alongside smoke set up to keep Should off that site. But he's gonna have other things in mind here. Gonna try and commit to come through stairs. A lot of noise coming in from doors, which gives him an idea that someone is coming and playing in from tree as well. So because of those first initial shots, they've already made his presence known here. Tries an isolated angle with those smokes. One to play a little bit more close. Should gonna try to challenge here. Side by side! Oh no, they were just rubbing shoulders there.
Oh, hey, how's it going, pal? And unfortunately, that's just not how Should would have imagined that clutch. But hey, he was one away from Steel Garden. It could have been something else, honestly. But hey, yeah, the mark of a great team is to have a short memory, you know. Okay, guys, move on from that round. Only remember what you need to remember.
Short man, because he was crouching. I'm
really curious, like, what's the average height for the Valorant Pro? Because I know we have some really tall players, and we have like really not tall players and people.
Yeah. Ooh,
oh, look at this. Funny business.
Could be a skewer? No, not anymore.
They gave it away though. Oh.
Here. Oh. I'm
Get
sorry.
destroyed.
That was an insane shot, Mosher. I'm so sorry. Because that was disgusting. Challenged all the way, but you could always rely on Javi 8K to get his.
Oh my goodness. Now, Alter Ego just couldn't capitalize on that free. Wait a second. Okay, yes they did. Savvy 8K though with a what? Come on, guys.
And then Nakia as well. I'm telling y'all, these guys are devils, demons when it comes to these sheriff rounds here. Just picking forward here as well should be cleared up eventually, but forced to scatter away because of the relay bolt. Stunned as well. It feels so oppressive right now. They have to play in the smokes, get a little bit more active. But the peaks are good here from Naos at the very least. Halvi 8K, this is a massive round. Already getting 3-piece.
There.
2v2 here.
Planted.
Have an outlaw in hand as well. So this is something they have to be very wary about.
My god.
There's the footsteps.
BTC.
He tries to sidestep it away. No. Alter Ego. Tag team that's done perfectly. So Alter Ego, do not come out. They're still very much in the game.
There's something in the air about these thrifties tonight. They've been awfully convincing, but these gun rounds have been, I wouldn't say questionable, but they've definitely been less competitive in comparison to these weaker buys. But Naos, I don't even think that was like a misplay on Naos' side. They were playing that so well. But again, at the end of the day, when the shots land, the shots land.
The shots land, the shots land. Yeah, sometimes it just comes down. I mean, you can talk about executions all you want here, but in that particular round, Alter Ego, they had the upper hand when it comes to that aim. I mean, granted that we didn't get to see every single fight. I'm not sure how Nakia got this one pick off early as well. But these are all skirmishes from all around the map here, and Alter Ego went aggressive to be able to take these fights.
Yeah, and you know, it's actually a good thing for Alter Ego to call for this timeout, because I feel like that eco could have been a confidence booster. Like, oh, hey guys, like, you know, this is not a team that we're not necessarily incapable of like frontlining, but they have to be a bit more clever in some of these sets, because it did kind of look like in some of those rounds that Alter Ego lost, they're being a bit stubborn. They're not really falling back as quickly as they should, despite all the respect they're giving to Naos. Like, there's still some like small discrepancies that they could iron over. But hey, that's just how competitive the game has been. It's been truly a game of inches.
I mean, I think a lot of teams are also trying to find their way in this meta, right? I mean, back then, above C Valorant has all been go aggressive, take out space, do not just let it go, or just brute force your way forward. But now times have changed, and I think a lot of teams are still trying to understand this change in pace as well.
I mean, that is true, and at the same time, it's really more sustainable when you're not overly reliant on your mechanics anyway. And, you know, that's the hallmark of some of these great teams. Alter Ego, definitely one of those teams where if they don't need to brute force things, like you said, they have more than enough, like, ability to reach deep into their bag, into their playbook. Naos is doing the same now.
Look at that, how interesting they've been playing this. Immediately the Prowler gets contact and the Steel Guardian comes online, but they too will put in their own sheer Razor Vines to just buy a bit more time. Nakia Gonna quickly find Zan in the midst of his rush up forward here. And they get that plant here. Manages to stay away from the haunt at the very least here. Gotten. Oh, timing is good, but he takes a lot of damage coming forward here. But the side steps for Mosier is incredible. Gets him in the end. One of you to come out. You also have the what's that? There's too many things happening. The Armageddon, the Nightfall as well. But Naos kept at bay here. BTC somehow walks in from backside, gets to backstab to death as Adrian King left all alone here. Good for 2, separated by that smoke. With only 19 HP, just gonna try and just pressure him through that smoke. Eventually, he will come out.
You know, I feel like we haven't brought this point up, or we haven't like really highlighted it, but I am pretty sure that having Valdin on Naos will have some amazing insight on how some of these how the individual players tend to behave in these specific situations. So, you know, aside from the play calling that has been pretty good on Naos side, that's a definite edge. Well, Alter Ego fighting.
You know what this is giving?
What?
It's giving a Fnatic versus Vitality when Durka got red so hard.
Oh yeah.
From the team.
The Yoru Bandit.
Oh yeah. Oh, here we go.
What about
Interesting
this?
moment again here. Separated by only a veil of smoke here. Now it's looking to go a little bit more aggressive. The triple swing is disgusting. Coming through.
Go, go, go.
Yeah, Adrian King only good for 1 here. They lost 2 members in that aggression.
Oh, teamwork makes the dream work, and this has been the key difference for Naos. They've been winning a lot of these fights off of each other's support. Alter Ego just not getting that same volume just yet. God and Should have been fantastic at these eco rounds.
Nice aggressive angle Valdin's playing, but Should is doing the same here, managing to challenge him with just that Sheriff. Will eventually fall at the very least. Feels like formalities here, but Sayu if he's able to isolate these fights, not gonna happen. Naos gonna run away with another round. Naos looking incredibly dominant on this attack side.
My goodness, I mean, I am just a big fan of textbook play like that. You have the numbers, double swing. You have 3 players, triple swing. It really does become a game of who can do like these simple and small things better. And
the
you know,
micros, right?
Yeah, and it's been like 3 rounds. The difference between these 2 teams have been 3 rounds. Sometimes that feels like it could be almost insurmountable, especially with the level that Naos is operating at the moment. Alter Ego though, not get with the operator, could find his mark here, but he will get pushed out by the Prowler.
First to move away, first to fall as well, but Zan wants to bring speed to the table, somehow managing to slide away here, and he's not done. Quick shots to the face here from Zan and Javi 8K, and he's not going to go a little bit more aggressive, moving in tandem with his teammates here. Usually, you see a Neon run up alone. No, this time around, Naos said, let us walk with you and provide you that cover fire with your overdrive. It's looking great right now.
My goodness, Naos again recovering. You know, there were a few shaky rounds, but they have been so clean. Lotus is looking like yet another map for them to conquer. Alter Ego, perhaps they could be a little bit better once the side swap does come, but this force buy is not a good look. Maybe they're gonna play it off the Rolling Thunder if they can, you know, confidently find players to invest into, but no.
God.
1 enemy remaining.
Okay, Gotham's at least good for 1. Swaps over a flash as well, so feels like formality here if you think about it. Bit of banter coming up as well, but I have to say that felt like 2 bulls just rushing to each other, you know, locking horns. But now it's just overwhelmed. They had a nice setup rush forward as well. This is something I've seen before Zan do, especially on that particular side there. Onto Mound, you have your teammates set up a flash for you and maybe a paranoia. You rush forward and it's completely overwhelmed.
Overwhelming is a good way to describe this because Alter Ego, normally they're the ones that are a little bit more oppressive, right? They're the ones that should be setting the pace for a lot of these matchups, and maybe they're in for a shock here because Naos, again on paper, 1 and 2 is really not that impressive.
God walks up, but PTC was already holding that for quite some time here. Micro macros are just so good right now when you see how Naos is playing it. Overdrive online here from Nakia this time around, but the flash keeps him at bay, and so does a secondary flash as well. It's oppressive as heck!
What?
And Mojo decides to push!
Not ready yet.
Behold all these flashbangs. Your eyes are now destroyed. Oh, I can't believe Zansel gets that too. Slides into that.
I mean, Sayu has also done considerable damage as well, but the rest of his team are not able to hold on. You saw a Rolling Thunder come online as well from Adrian King, but no conversions at all. You hear the fake out as well. You hear Javi 8K playing mad close, avoiding the haunt. A nice high-low setup all the way from Mountside. Honestly, what can you do here? It's a three-way pincer. As Alter Ego, once again, we're seeing a deja vu moment, 9-3 half.
They're still trying to figure out which mask to put on as Alter Ego has had a bunch of bruises on their face. Them going. Ladies and gents, it is still Raph and Tash on the desk. And we are mighty excited to get this half going.
Alter Ego eager to get the ball rolling here. Salvo set forward as well. But they still have to worry about that sheer wall. Not able to activate it quite yet. And knowing that Javi 8K is there does put Alter Ego into a, okay, maybe we should go to another side. But over onto A side here, look at how many players here are looking to take away any control that they can take. They can go in through Rubble side as well. But now they haven't been caught out at all here. A quick pop flash forward, and Alter Ego, as soon as they saw the smoke, they were like, okay, I think we know what's happening here.
Oh, this is so good. But now still have the honestly like really strong utility on this. Razor Vine's gonna pop those. That's gonna be enough time. I wonder if this flank is actually gonna bear any fruit though.
They hear a lot of noise coming for here. Flash
What a
set
flash.
out for success as well, but they go aggressive here. Zen with the big opening, knock out a trade. But Mojo is incredibly low. Look at PTC going for two.
C.
And Should once again alone. A nice high low, but these two players are incredibly
No way.
low. And in the end, a clutch coming through from Should and conversions in this 1vx's.
Insane work here by both teams. I love that heads up play to flash and maybe fight it out. I thought for sure they were all going to get demolished by the Naos pistol there, but again, Should showing why he's one of the star players of this roster, fighting it out, landing some crisp shots despite watching everybody kind of fall around him, and great composure too to not rush that final sequence. Alter Ego has found a little bit of a lifeline here. And now they opt to just work with a classic.
Try a bit more noise, trying to bait any of the players from Naos to even peek. Regardless, he still gets his ult orb there. And as soon as that overdrive comes online, he's gonna be able to put in so much damage and take away so much space away from Naos defense.
That it does. But right now, I kind of want to count out Naos already just because it's an eco round and Alter Ego don't typically, statistically don't really fall to eco rounds. But hey, I could be wrong.
Oh my god, look at these layers of utility there coming in from door, coming in from main as well. But they have already gambled wrong here because Alter Ego has their sights onto C. A lot of space taken. Stinger in hand by Nakia means that one of the members there is going to be Valdin, will be the one to fall next.
Plus the only upgrade
A
now,
lot of
Scott.
util used just now as well, yeah.
Yeah, they only really got a coast out of the exchange, so big ROI on the side of Alter Ego, and this retake is gonna be such a difficult effort for Naos. No way.
It's good to find one member there. Adrian King just has the better gun at this point here. Set up some more spokes to give a little bit more space to work with. One in the corner, good to find one and only one. So Alter Ego, the pistol, as well as the next round taken, brings them a bit closer to Naos scoreline.
All right. And I was worried I was gonna jinx it, but no, it's not gonna happen today. And like we said, right, that was very well measured on the side of Alter Ego. If Should had a bigger weapon or a more upgraded weapon, then that could have been a problem. But this is not a mistake that Alter Ego typically does make. However, they still have to fight this out on this bonus round. They are pretty equipped with it. Will go for the Vandal upgrade. We'll still have a buy the next round, so this is not at all unreasonable.
No way. Mosher somehow managed to just anti that flash, get one, but he wasn't able to quickly gate crash away, so will be quickly traded out here. The rest of Naos, they want to push. I don't know if Should is going to anticipate this. Spots one out here, but quickly traded out again by PTC. Gotta say, I mean, the word trade, I see this all so much on this map, on this series.
I mean, it's been measured. Like you said, it's been more of a chess match than anything else, really. Except these chess pieces are quite violent and they have guns. But now, they have PTC soloing Rubble here. If they don't check up, then this could be an easy
find. They see him
find.
already.
Oh, no, they don't! Oh, okay, now
Nope,
they do.
They do! Initially, they did see him throw out the smoke as well toward the other end, so they definitely did see him, or at least an idea where he could be, but that just confirms it. But Adrian King has already activated the shear wall, so it does alert the members of Naos that someone is definitely onto that B side. Slow rotations coming in from Naos, coming from 3 different sides here. They could isolate the angles, take these fights as well. The sprays, unfortunately, are just not gonna hit here. But PTC is still gonna try again. If his timing is good, could ask him to make a bit more noise, but they double check it. Runs away with the bonus. Alter Ego here, looking much more convincing on this attack side.
True, Valden actually caught in a awkward spot there, falling between the elevated platform and the smoke, so really just no way he was gonna fight anything out here. And you know, despite the adjustment Naos made in that round where they did send out PTC to try in front, Rubble just was not the case. I'm actually so surprised that they managed to hold on to the stealth drone for that long, but as we mentioned, Naos, this lead is awfully getting thin. What does Valden have with the Sheriff?
I mean, he can aim, he can shoot. He's just trying to see if he can just catch one off guard. I don't think he's
so
been
smart.
noted quite yet, so the timing could be massive here. Should alone?
No.
Oh no. Now he is in very much trouble. He has to land that crucial shot, but decides to play a little bit more safe, all the way far back. His presence noted, so could you just fade back onto the side if he wants to here.
But look at this. They think that their flank on the opposite end is safe. Now it's just slowly moving up, but they've stagnated towards lobby. They really only have, I believe it's Adrian King watching that flank, and they teeter back onto it. The shear is still there. I don't think they know that there's a Neon with a shotgun waiting around that corner, but Adrian King has his suspicions, so he can feel something brewing. Oh, and they actually denied the stealth drone.
Yep.
Oh, this is so good.
Some drones come out as well. Zan just holding so close, tanking a lot of this util as well. Unmovable force, if you may.
Oh my gosh!
Davi's timing is just massive there, but Mosher will be the one to fall.
I got scared.
Comes out a lot of util using forward as well, but Sai and Adrian King were immediately ready for the immediate push out. Knows exactly where Zan is. Zan does have a Bucky in hand, which means that he has to play a little bit more close. From this range, that Bucky is useless. Tries to bring out the classic, can't do anything. Tries to move back here.
Oh boy, a decision has to be made, but once again, the rifle's just too much to handle, and this is the alter ego we know and love. You saw a lot of those decisions being actively made there. They knew there was only one player towards C, but they didn't want to gamble on their flank as well, so they held strong with that shear. And even when they did double back onto it, you still saw a lot of utility being invested just for sheer safety. And with that, again, they just deduced, okay, B should potentially be the weakest site here, guys. So maybe let's take it. And plus, they're on an eco anyway.
Yeah, and I think this is a good call for timeout as well. It's a little bit more early, doesn't allow a bit more of a snowball, because that's 4 in a row already for Alter Ego in that particular round as well. Now, I think that when you look at how they execute here, I think Naos is just not unprepared for the aggression to come through. It's not really the aggression that we usually see, how they can just kind of brute force their way onto the side here. It's a lot push and pull coming in here. They have one player watching the flank, kind of making sure that no one, hoping that they can just backstab all these players in these corners as well for Naos, because they know and they're so privy, knowing that Naos likes to flank, likes to crunch.
Sorry, they're so aware of like the potential greediness of Naos to just kind of wrestle the map away and have majority of the real estate in their hands. It does look like there is a small discussion of what to do here. They have a 2-round allowance to potentially still adjust, but these 4 rounds have been completely dominant on the side of Alter Ego. They have the instant rotate tool, and as well as the Rolling Thunder, very close to being present in this game. I'm curious to see if they're gonna put a lot of priority on those orbs just so they can have an extra initiating tool to get onto a site, but really majority of the fights haven't even been happening on the site. It's been them slowly conquering, dividing and conquering Naos.
And see a lot more prowlers coming in from B with a 3-man push as well. But a lot of noise made there already toward door side. So Javi AK gonna go huge down to Sayu as well, alongside Zed and Mosher, playing that door corner to perfection. Alter Ego weren't able to fight back at all. No clue where to look and where to go.
Man, so good off the pauses now, but Should has won even crazier situations, but this is not something Naos would squander. They are gonna try and double up on this and even set a bit of a trap smoke there. Aside from that, it did look like Naos was willing to meet Alter Ego and fight them at their own terms, because again, on those last few rounds, they were kind of getting caught off guard before the side
30
fights
seconds
happened.
left.
So now they're being a little bit more cautious on where their front line was gonna be. They have let go of a lot of rebel control though, like in this round alone. They're like, okay, they don't care about it. We're not gonna care about it. It's fine.
Smokes as well set up here, but with 10 seconds to go, I think Should
10 seconds left.
with, you know, I think, yeah, he can buy another rifle for his teammate later. Perhaps, I mean, yeah, credit's in his hands, but you want to be able to at least get one more rifle, so I think a save is the call.
Not much of a choice here for Should, and I like the calling on Alter Ego as well. They know they have a full head of steam. They know that this momentum is still very much takeable. So they're not gonna allow their economy to dwindle a little bit more. I can't necessarily say it's a slow game for Sayu anyway, because like his utility is doing a lot of the intangibles, displacing a lot of the members on Naos, and still getting so much value off that stealth round. I actually think like 2 or 3 of those rounds in that 4-round swing was because of the timely stealth drone.
Alter Ego with 2 ultimates to work with right now. You have the From the Shadows, you also have the Rolling Thunder as well. So they can get a little bit more active and fight for Rumble Control. And this time they finally were able to wrestle it away. So Rolling Thunder immediately onto that side to give them a little bit more space. Pushes the rest of Naos off that side immediately. Nakia, backside, clears out everything. But Mosher's answer back, Dimensional Drift, marks the positions of every single member. Gonna set out his team for success. A flash forward means that everyone can just rush up as well. Naos, they do get 2, but there's a lot of utility forward. Valden somehow skewers 3 in a row and takes control of the entire situation. It was not a round that Naos had in their hands, but it was definitely something that Valden was able to equalize.
All right, Valden, I see that little smile. You knew you weren't supposed to take those kills. Come on, man. You jump into the crouch. Let's like precise gunplay at its best. But hey, these things happen. Naos again, great adjustments. Really, not aside from Valden's like 3K there, they still had to deal with PTC, who was still very much alive. But hey, this was pretty much a cherry on top, right? The OT duo per se, holding out on that. And now Alter Ego, and a bit of a 2-0 scare. I think if they lose 2-0 here, this is gonna be the first time they're gonna be swept for the split, if I'm not mistaken. If
It's honestly insane when you look at this. I think, you know, Alter Ego being the fan favorites, you know, being challenged first by Team Secret Academy, and now Naos has risen up to that occasion as well. It shows phenomenal growth from all these teams. And on top of that as well, is showing that we're no longer having these top dogs be dominating anymore. It's so competitive down here. You said it yourself, Raf. It's incredibly ruthless. I think for a while now, when you look at Ascent, when you look at challengers, it's been the same names over and over, dominating the top charts. But the growth this year from this challengers, incredible.
it really has been. And you know, fun fact, it's been 2 years in a row that the Philippines has been knocked out by a Japanese team. I've been keeping tabs on that. But
How do you feel
other than
about
that, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how to feel about it, because I don't think I've been a big Zeta fan. If anything, I've been a
Oh
Zeta
my God.
hater. But we go back to the teams I actually like Alter Ego and Naos.
Yeah, that's a great initial push there by Nakia, going a bit more aggressive. Just sliding up, taking away the crosshair and shooting PTC, knowing that he's going to play an off angle here. With Godden from the shadows as well. Going to try and see if anyone will be on that side as well. Gets that recon done, gives information, which means that Alter Ego can push out, but they didn't account for Valdin playing a little bit more of an aggressive hold. But the Steel Guardian comes online here, so the rest of Naos has to run away. They don't have any shots in their hands, but Valdin with the classic in hand decides to challenge. Not done yet though. Sayu, he's a sharpshooter, but that flash, cosmetic. As Zan comes up online right now, he's stuck. He's gonna try and move forward and challenge. Not able to do that. Will be able to work in tandem with his teammates. But for him, the overdrive means nothing. As there's an Alter Ego tuck in the back end of that corner. Crossfires abound as well. Keep each other relatively healthy.
All right, that's where I kind of have to question if that was an overheat or not, because they didn't have spike down. They had 51 seconds. That's all up to Valdin and Zabi to salvage this situation.
Oh no.
But it does look like it's not gonna be a Naos round. It's gonna be Alter Ego pushing for their comeback.
You know when they say sometimes when things are just not working out, you just go aggressive? When things go hard, you go faster? That's not
But things were going well though, so I don't understand. Like,
why Naos? Yeah, why Naos? I'm questioning as well. That timeout was honestly valid. You have to question what the heck happened there. Especially, I mean, I understand why though, especially from Zan. He was stuck in a very hard place there with the aftershock. But did he have to push past that smoke?
I don't know. I mean, sometimes these are heads-up calls that you have to follow up on and maybe make the rest of the team aware. Because for one, I'm a firm believer of like freedom of individuality, even in a team, right? Because sometimes you have to make the call and you have to trust yourself to do it. But again, when it doesn't work out, it does look like a fumble. If it did work out, it would have looked like a stroke of genius, and that's just the price to pay.
I mean, so far throughout the entirety of the night, Naos has been great at converting their timeouts. But the same can be said about Alter Ego here. I mean, granted, we started off the second half with a 9-3, and look how competitive it is. Only a 3-round deficit for Alter Ego right now.
Like I said, those 3 rounds might just be quote-unquote 3 rounds, but with the way Naos has been adjusting, this could be the gap. Yeah. This could be a gap that might be so difficult for Alter Ego to traverse. Same time, Valdin, a solo Phantom. What can Naos really do in this situation?
Guess they're just gonna wait here. And the playoff contact as well. Look how passively everyone is playing. One stationed toward tree, one toward A main, one toward stairs. No one really eager to overpeak.
Well, they have to respect the fact that their weapons are just really not that great. And plus, they've already given so much by being incredibly aggressive. Bonus is that they avoid the breach utility. This could be a trap waiting to be sprung here. Nakia should be a little suspicious why that vent is open.
Oh, here comes that flash. The haunt to come out as well. And the rest of Alter Ego have kept themselves relatively hidden. Spot out Javi AK's shoulder. Immediately what they're gonna do is just throw out the paranoia. Gonna try and go a little bit more active and aggressive and just completely find Should corner him over at Rumble. But once again, it's just a game of smokes and mirrors here as Alter Ego tries to breach that C site. But Valdin, this is his site here. You don't go in until he allows it. Good to find Sayu, but not Nakia. The rest of Naos is gonna be a slow retake with the lesser guns.
Oh,
The haunt
PTC's
to come through as well. Nakia goes aggressive, but a headshot from Javi 8K gonna shut down an overdrive. Not done yet. Adrian King played this quarter to perfection. The same could be said of Mosher. They know where one member of Alter Ego is. The last man standing goes for the tap as well. Adrian King putting a bit more pressure through those smokes. Go one more time and PTC swings out, and that is a tag team. That is the power of friendship, and Naos gonna hit that match point.
That's crazy. That considering that they invested so much into clearing waterfall, but now with a few hand-me-downs from the opposing team winning that out. Again, now they just seem to be so on top of things. They had a moment here where they potentially had a clear like number advantage, so they took it. And now Alter Ego, what can they do? What do they have left in the tank? They got smoked on that eco. Hopefully it doesn't shake their mental.
Snuff them out.
Now too, they better not overheat here. There's always something.
21 and 11.
Ooh. What?
Oh man, Nakia was already awaiting the initial aggression coming out of Naos. Gets two. Zan shuts him down, but Javi AK just sprays through those smokes to find a way. Gotten wallbanged to death right now. Fortunately for Mojer, his shots are not gonna connect. But Nakia has other things in mind. He wants to take a little bit more space, catch them off guard, perhaps push down all the way to A side, catch Mojer in the midst of his rotation. This could crunch with Sayu as well.
Time is winding down. Mojer.
There we go. Timing is good. Still, 2v3. Only a man disadvantage. For Naos, the hunt to come through as well should give away the position. The crosshair moved out of the way here. Zan keeps relatively alive. 3k in the bag. He's going aggressive. It's pressure now. He's going to try and challenge it. But Sayu
Defenders win.
will eventually fall as Zan does fight his in the end. Naos a 2-0 right.